Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Can everybody hear me? Everything good? Hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, this is normally why I don't book women on the show typically, but it's it should have been on me. I should have expected it, I just don't have that much experience with women and I forget that you guys are always late to everything, so but yeah. Yeah, you like Arizona? You like it so far? Nice. Oh, what the hell? Hang on. No, I know what it is. Boom, there it is.
Okay.
Trying it. There we go. There we go.
Wonderful.
There we are.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
my
I can hear
bad.
an echo, though.
Oh, you can hear an echo?
Mm, that's not good.
Hmm. Let me see. Er,
Let me text Josiah and see if it's maybe something
no,
I
it's
did wrong.
no, it's probably like my Roadcaster, honestly. Um, well, hang on. Let me see if I can fix something here. Oh, you know what it
He,
is? Hang on.
there's a bit of an echo. Do you know
Yeah,
why that would be, Josiah?
echo cancel. I just got to turn the echo cancellation on, I think. Does it
Okay, I
fix
think
it?
we're good.
Does it
Yeah,
fix it? Cool. All right.
sweet.
All right. Technical problems out of the way now. Now we're golden.
Okay, Josiah wanted me to let you know that you owe him now for, for informing you of this.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. I don't
We'll
know.
see about that, Josiah. No, I as I was saying, for everyone who couldn't hear me,
Yeah.
girl math, time zones, a bunch of excuses why I was late, so we can just skip ahead. Sorry
Yeah.
about that, Beardson.
Yeah. No worries. The last time I had a girl, I had Sarah Stock on the last time, and this is going a lot better than it did last time with her because the last time I went live with her, we were talking for an hour and I didn't realize we weren't even live.
No.
Yeah, it did
Oh,
like an hour long of the show. So I mean, really, losing 15 seconds really not that big of a deal.
all right.
You know,
Nice.
we're doing all right for this one, thankfully. So
Off to a good start. I love to
yeah,
hear
yeah.
it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, even with the tardiness. It's fine.
It's
Um,
my pleasure. I'm happy to do it. You're one of my favorite Groiper X accounts, so
mm,
I appreciate the invite.
thank you. I hope I'll look a lot better on stream than I do on X.
You
Hopefully,
do, you
this.
know what? But I saw your post about like your glow up. Your I guess
Mm,
you were looks maxing, I guess, to some
yeah,
degree. And it's very impressive. You look tremendous. So congratulations on that.
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of hard work, dedication.
Mhm. In the
Math.
gym? Gym?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the
Nice.
gym too. Yeah, peptides. You know.
Peptides. I've heard a lot about these peptides lately. I've heard that they can do very incredible things for multiple different, arenas of health and bodily function. So that's apparently you can take peptides that make you tan. This is very interesting.
Really,
Crazy
I had no
crazy
idea.
word out there,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, well, you just did a video on the whole like looks maxing thing, right? So you've been
Yes,
doing like the
indeed.
deep dive into it.
Yes, I was very fascinated by the way that it's changing men, essentially. Women have always been the ones to enhance themselves, be it, the hair coloring, the lashes, the Botox, the fillers, So it's interesting to see men kind of pick up on that trend somewhat.
Yeah, it's been a really like, fascinating and sort of like polarizing reaction to Clav and the whole looks maxing sphere. Because on like on one hand, it seems like younger guys are kind of with it. They are totally on board, and I support it too. But it's like it seems like people like my age and older are really seething about it for some reason. Like they're like, you're just gay. Like you're what are you like a metrosexual or whatever? And it's like I mean I don't really get the harm and like I mean maybe not do meth, maybe we can lay off the meth, but like other than
Maybe no
that,
math. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's where
Now,
maybe we could draw the line.
what is your age, by the way?
I'm 37.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a millennial like me.
Yeah,
Very good.
I don't know what gave it away, you know, this the beanie or the flannel, you know, but
All of the above. No, listen, I really like Clav actually. I have very much enjoyed his content. There's a lot that I really kind of respect about the movement. I definitely accept the truth, the reality that, society treats you better when you look better. And a lot of the prescriptions that these like base dads and these like conservative gurus are giving to men really aren't doing anything in this gynocentric society. So I appreciate the fact that men are like taking control of the controllables, but by that same token, maybe when it comes to the meth and making yourself infertile at such a young age. Like I didn't even know that I wanted to have kids until I was in my later 20s. So I think making radical decisions about your future before you're really able to conceptualize the consequences of them. Like that's something I would, I'd say err on the side of caution with that. Maybe think twice, but so far as like getting lean, getting healthy, things like there's certain measures that you can take that I think are actually it's really phenomenal that guys are focusing on that.
yeah, same. It's like what's funny about it is this sort of like manosphere before like pre-Clav was all like you have to eat raw meat, you have to drink raw eggs, and you have to go like sun your balls. You know what I mean? Like that was the self-help that you were getting from a lot of the like right-wing manosphere people, which is like retarded. I'm sorry. It's like I don't know, like I feel like we're being tricked into like eating like ground beef like straight out of the pack. It's gross. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I would
The
rather be like
Liver guy, old guy,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. I'll remain chopped if that's the solution. Like I'll just be chopped, dude.
Fair
Um,
enough, fair enough. I
yeah,
concur.
yeah. And it's like I mean, Clav comes out and it's like really like most of the stuff that he's prescribing is like pretty practical. You know,
Yeah,
it's like stuff that you can order online. It's not illegal. Everybody acts like he, because he said he did meth. It's like then like everything that he's recommending now is bad. It's like no, dude. Like any guy, you can go to the like Walmart and buy creatine, dude. Like it's good. It's not
right.
like this crazy thing that's gonna like jack you up or whatever.
And a bunch of people take Adderall, and there's no judgment on that. Obviously, meth is a way more intense version, but this isn't the first time that we're hearing about people using like chemicals to induce certain states or appetites or whatever it may be. Not endorsement of meth again, I will say that, but yeah, it's like it's not a far jump from taking Adderall every day, perhaps to get lean or get more work done. It's a legal drug, but it's still a drug that has very similar properties and very similar chemicals. So I think people are they're kind of quick to judge, but yeah, maybe do Adderall instead of meth. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's and one thing I've noticed too, it's a lot of ugly people. Like, let's be real. It's a lot of ugly people that kind of hate on Clav. You know what I mean? It's
True.
like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's
Yeah.
like if this was like politics, wouldn't necessarily say that that matters too much. But it's like when we're talking about like actually looks maxing
Looks.
and how people look, like, I don't know
Yeah.
if you're quite the expert. You're like 50 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair enough. Like don't hate me because you hate me type situation. I feel like.
yeah. Yeah, like I'm not gonna hate on like Clev's like way better looking than me. Like who am I to be like this fucking guy smoking meth? Like
Right.
let him, man. Clearly it's working. I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think there's probably other ways to get lean, but hey, it's working for him. Is making a name for himself. His ascension has been like so fast and so rapid. And I think if it's encouraging people to, take better care of themselves, present themselves in a better light, then it can overall be a net positive. But I think by that same token, it's like two things can be true at the same time. You could still like endorse that type of mindset while also cautioning people on some of the more extreme measures, which is my that was kind of the intention behind my video. It's not to like paint Clav as like a hero or a villain. I reiterated multiple times throughout the video that I like him. And I highlighted the pros as well as the cons, which is, what you kind of try to do as a commentator and not be so biased, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think too, it's with Clav in particular. Like I don't think there's anything wrong to say that he's definitely going to the extreme with all of it. He's talking about getting like the limb lengthening surgery and all that stuff. But it's sort of in a way like I view him the same way that I view Nick, where it's like you need these people that go to the extreme in order to sort of like highlight this like major problem within like certain like especially like the men, like young men especially. It's like
Mhm.
you don't necessarily have to go as extreme as Clav does, but you there's still like measures that you can take to improve yourself to look better. Especially, I mean, dude, it's like all of our food is poison. There's like estrogen in literally everything that we eat or drink.
Right.
Every
Well, it
you know
didn't
like
make my boobs bigger, so not enough apparently.
yeah, well, I don't know. It's
I'm
worked for
just
me
kidding,
pretty
that was a
well.
joke. Do you really think that Nick's that extreme though? Like, do you I get that, like, by comparison to, like, the average political discourse, but, like, there's really not that many things that he espouses that I'm like, "That really doesn't make sense," you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say by comparison, he's extreme.
Mhm,
Like I've known Nick for forever,
mhm.
and I've always seen him as like a pretty moderate guy, all things considered. Because like that's the funny thing about Nick and people calling him extremes. Like no, there are like actual extreme people out there. It's just that they're not famous. They're just kind of losers that gonna sit on
Right,
Twitter all day and like sit in Twitter Spaces for 12 hours a day and say the N word all day, whatever.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
true.
Those are like your extremists, like that you got to worry about. But like, yeah, Nick. But if you were to compare like somebody like Nick to Ben Shapiro, like obviously he would be considered like extreme, right?
Right, yeah, I think Ben Shapiro is extreme in the opposite direction.
Yeah. No, that's real. Extremely Jewish. Yeah.
Extremely Jewish, correct. Very much
um.
so.
So how did you like? I'm always curious about this. Like, how did you get involved? Like, what was your like sort of or what was your villain story? Like, what was your how did you get involved in politics exactly? Because I'm always like curious about this because there's like so many different events like and pinpoints for people. Some people's like BLM or COVID or Trump or
COVID.
whatever.
Yeah,
COVID.
I mean, well, so there is like getting politically active, like going from being apolitical to being political.
Yeah.
And we're all political creatures. It just takes the right occurrence to kind of wake you up. But so I would say around COVID time, I moved to Maui, Hawaii in 2017. And I was living out there around the time that COVID hit, and Hawaii is a blue state. You couldn't even walk on the beach without being accosted by, officers and the COVID police and everything like that. But by that same token, there was still a lot more freedom in the United States than there was in Australia. Like Australia is known to be the most like prolific country for being so like tyrannical and dictatorial. Like they totally their COVID laws were so draconian, like to the point where they were taking kids away from parents without their knowledge if they so much had a little sniffle in school, right? It was really intense. To the point that even when I before I moved to Florida, which was much more lax on COVID policies, even when I was in Hawaii, my mom would call me up and be like, "I'm so grateful that you're in America because it's so crazy out here. I'm so glad that you're in like a free country." And this made me interested in political systems because, on first glance, Australia and America, very similar political, cultural makeup. It appears to be very similar in a lot of senses, but when you look a little bit deeper, you realize no, Australia is actually a mixed economy. They have a lot of elements of socialism tied in, socialized healthcare, and these types of things. And at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a free lunch when you are subservient to your government to any degree. When it comes time for them to say jump, you need to say how high. And that was a really big difference between America and Australia. That, especially when I went out to Florida and I lived in a red state, I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I really started informing myself on politics. But it was in 2022, actually. A friend of mine was in uh, Fresh's group chat, Fresh from Fresh and Fit, and
Yeah.
they were looking for some girls who were a tad bit above the average women that they usually have on the panel. They're like, we need some semi smart girls to come on from time to time. So a friend of mine recommended me to come on. I ended up going on the show, debating this girl. The clips went viral from like various clipper accounts. And then I ended up, through being online, meeting this guy Santino. Shout out to Santino. He's the one who put me onto Nick very, very early on. I think I had my first phone conversation with Nick in 2022 while I was on a stream with Sneeko and Zerka. And at the time, I was more so just interested in his takes on like feminism and race realism and things like this. I hadn't so much got into the JQ, so to speak. But all the way back then, I was on the phone with him. I was like, dude, like, I really like what you're doing. Back when he was like relegated to Cozy TV, before he was even on Rumble, back when you literally had to put asterisks in his name if you wanted to post a YouTube video that had anything to do with Nick, you know?
Yeah.
And then I started getting more active into podcasting. About a year later, I was on the Sourcecast, which is a valuetainment show, and Nick was on that panel. And dude, every single person on that panel started coming for him, but like not even in like intelligent or tactful ways. Like they were just trying to steamroll him for the most ridiculous things. And so I'm even on record back then, like 2023, early 2023, standing up for him in as much capacity as I could. I definitely wasn't as educated then as what I was now. But any opportunity I had, like I stuck up for him on that panel. And a lot of people know me from that. You know, it's nowadays that, you know, America First it's becoming more of a populist movement. People are very quick to call you out as a grifter or what have you. But there's people who they watch that show and they remember me being the only one to stand up for him at the time when he was being accosted by everyone, including the host. Like Adam was a terrible moderator on that show. He was coming for Nick just as hard as all of the panelists, and I was really the only one to stand up for him. But basically, since then, I've just been doing more research, evolving my opinion, getting more educated. And yeah, I'm at the point where I'm basically saying Nick Fuentes was right about everything. So that's where I'm
Yeah.
at now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you recently, I guess pretty recently, left Valuetainment. Now you're doing the independent thing. How's that going?
It's going good. You know, I took about a month off to kind of resituate myself, get my mindset right, focus more on God and the Bible because I was just so consumed with work in that role. I worked for them for like a year and a half before I pitched my show and it was accepted, doing media distribution. Initially, I started in sales and um, it was a lot. It was a lot of hard work. I really spent a lot of time just focusing on just being this workhorse and just grinding and really not necessarily having all of my values fully in alignment. So when I left, I took a bit of time to you know, kind of recalibrate a little bit. So I haven't put out a tremendous amount of content since then. You know, I put out the America First versus APAC video that did really well. I reported on the Bondi Beach false flag in Australia. I did the looks maxing video. But it's been pretty minimal. But I am, you know, I'm just about ready to go full steam ahead and really get back into the swing of things.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. I like I said, I watched that looks maxing video. I was trying to do a little show prep because I was bringing you on. So I was like, well, I should probably, I don't normally watch women's content, no offense, but
Fair enough. I get it. I
yeah.
don't either.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I was like, well, it's good. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. So I thought you had a good take on it, which is rare,
Yeah,
very rare for a woman.
I'm used to having like a full on, you know, production team, everything with valuetainment. So you know, it's my fault. I didn't bother Josiah. He told me you should have bothered me. You should have been like, hey, help me make sure everything's perfect and right. So camera quality, there's a few things that were kind of different than the level of quality that I'm used to, but I think the overall message was good, which is that's the main point at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, trust, dude, look at my setup, okay? I've got a fucking, it's like, you're fine. Great, you're doing better than me, so
Well,
I'm
thank you.
not,
I appreciate that.
you got the
It's
nice,
it's
like,
it's the,
fancy
you
wall
know,
panel and everything.
it's the message that matters at the end of the day, I think,
True.
you know, and you do a very good job of that.
Oh,
So that's why you're one of my favorite Groper accounts. I
well,
very much
thank you.
enjoy your content.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Uh, but yeah, no, it's fun. It's interesting to see, like, I guess this past like year or two, especially because I'm like, I'm like old decrepit unk who I've been a groiper since before there was even groipers. Like I've been around
Oh,
since
before
like,
there was a name for it.
yeah, dude,
Wow.
I was watching Nick on like Right Side Broadcasting like back in the day.
Oh wow. I don't even
Yeah,
know what that is. I'm a crazy TV galley. I don't even know
yeah,
what right side broadcasting is. So you're well ahead of me for sure.
yeah. Well, it's just I'm old.
Isabella's burning something. Oh no. She's bur- she's burning the food. Oh no.
well, I was gonna make a joke about the smoke detector alarm. You know, like
That's what it is. That's why it's going off, Ollie.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why else it would be.
you just gotta change the batteries in that thing. That's all that it is. You know, it's like every time you see like a black TikTok, you just hear it like chirping in the background.
I should mute. Otherwise, people will leave. Just give us 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. No worries. The content's just too fire, you know. That's what it was. The content's too good. We're burning the house down, literally. This is a first. Honestly, this is a first. I've never had a guest whose home was on fire as they were doing the show. So this is kind of awesome, actually. This is gonna be a clip. I mean, I can't wait. Kick Champ's gonna pick this up. I hope.
It's still going. I'm so sorry.
Oh, this is awesome. Do you need to like leave or do you need to like evacuate? Like, what's going on?
Maybe I should go help her, like fan
Yeah.
the smoke alarms. Okay,
Yeah.
be right back. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. What is going, dude? I am never bringing a woman on this podcast ever again, dude. Hour and a half late, burns her house down in the middle of the stream. Like, I mean, just unprofessional, honestly, just totally unprofessional. All right, we are never bringing a woman on ever again. This is a disaster, literally. Okay. How's chat doing? Chat, how are you guys doing? Sorry, I haven't been streaming this week. I have a bad wisdom tooth that's like laying flat into my mouth. And like I'm not gonna get it removed because I'm 37. At this point, I'm living with it. But like once a year, it just bothers me really bad. Like I guess it's like sinus pressure or whatever. So like once a year I go through this thing where it's just like it's terrible, you know? And so what is that? I guess we can read the super chats. I have the super chats and the chat turned off because we have a woman on and I don't trust you guys at all because you're animals. Lyric Terror sent $3. You know what? I'm not reading this actually. Fuck you. He says, how much is Simpson simply getting paid for by the e-girl lobby to humiliate himself like this? Look, we're going to have a lot of guests on, okay? We're having a lot of guests on, all right? And I thought Amy would be a cool guest to have on. Next week, we're having Basil on. We're going to have Rebecca from Backlash on, I think Friday. Tuesday is going to be Basil. And, dude, I have secured what is potentially going to be probably one of the funniest guests that I've ever had on ever. And I'm not going to tell you guys who it is because it's not like totally rock solid yet, but they have agreed to come on. And it's going to blow your guys' fucking mind who I'm bringing on. Maybe next week. You guys are not going to believe who I got to come on, and I'm really excited about it. No, it's not Lily Gaddis, it's a man. And yeah, we have a little bit of history, is all I'll say. So I'm pretty
It's still happening. It's still going. We can't make it stop. Oh God.
What do you have a man in the house? Is there a man there where's Josiah? What is he doing?
Josiah, you're getting called out right now. How do we make it stop?
You just gotta here's what you do. You just pull it off of the wall and just stick it into the freezer, you know?
I will go inform him.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. Or press the button. I'm really sabotaging. I'm trying to cause damage to his home, actually. That's what I'm trying to do. But anyways, yeah, I've had a crazy week, so sorry I haven't been streaming. I'm not gonna lie, I had a night where I went to the dentist 2 years ago to have a tooth removed. Oh, here we go. She's back. All right, so I don't have to tell you this gay story.
Josiah fixed it.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. Finally, get a man in charge here.
Exactly.
I was like, she's going. I don't know what help she's going to be here, but
I was just trying to fan things. I was useless, honestly. I really contributed nothing.
Yeah.
What happened? Going to get Josiah, so that worked.
Is Isabella cooking something? Is that what happened?
Yeah, she's cooking salmon right now.
Oh, dude. All right. You know what? No comment. I'm just not gonna. We love Isabella.
Yeah,
Congratulations on the baby. That's awesome. And
yeah.
so because of that, I'm just going to bite my tongue. I'm just going to bite my tongue in honor of the baby.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah. But
Hold on, let me close the door. I didn't close it properly.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right, we're good. We should be fine to give. What were we saying before
I,
this?
dude, I have no idea. I mean, really, I think your house burning down really is kind of like the new content now. Unfortunately, it's the new topic. So,
I'm
um,
so sorry. I'm so
it's okay. Hey, to the chat, I promise you in her videos, her house doesn't burn down in every video. They're a lot more
correct.
clean and prepared. So,
Correct. Yeah, the things you can do in post production.
yeah, you can just edit that alarm right out,
Adobe podcasting, incredible, incredible tool.
Yeah,
Cut out any background noise.
yeah. All right. Yeah, now I'm like off my I was in my rhythm and now I'm like completely like off my game now.
Me too,
Um,
dude. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
What are
sorry.
you drinking there? What is that big ass bottle?
It is
Oh.
coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had quite the day. I'm a little bit run down, a little bit sleepy, but
Yeah.
I
It's all
get
right.
get a little bit of caffeine in my system. I'll be good.
Yeah, yeah. No worries.
Mhm.
Yeah, I won't keep you too long because I know it's kind of late. We were
Wait,
planning to do this earlier, but
I know that's my fault. So keep me as long as you like. I'm more than happy to make up for it.
no, no,
And
it's all right.
collab anytime. Like I said, I definitely want to get a lot more active in the content space. So anytime you want me on the show, I promise. Well, I can't promise that the smoke alarm won't go off again, but I will endeavor to do my best to make sure that it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling right now about future collabs. You're an hour and a half late. You burned your house down. It's like we're
It's
not.
not me. Oh my god, it wasn't me. I'm here talking to you.
All right, fair. That's fair, but still, I mean, the company that you keep reflects on you, Amy. Okay.
This is actually a very amazing household. I'm super grateful to Josiah and Isabella for hosting me here. My fiance, he is dealing with some family stuff. He's traveling quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, hopefully, he'll be joining us out here around March, something like that. But yeah, just despite the smoke alarm going off, aside from that, it's an incredible household to be a part of. I'm very grateful to the two of them for hosting me here.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So like, so you left Florida, you went to Arizona, and now you're
Mhm.
staying with Isabella and Josiah.
Correct.
You
Yeah,
did
I
the end.
came out for
Okay.
Turning Point. Actually, I came out for Turning Point USA. But I was watching Isabella's content. We were connected online, and so when I was out here, I was like, "Hey, do you want to meet up?" We hung out. We did a stream together. People seemed to really like it, and at the time, I was already looking to get out of Florida and have a fresh start. It's not like there's any bad blood with Valuetainment. Like there genuinely isn't. I'm super grateful for the opportunity there, but when you invest a lot into something like your blood, sweat, and tears into a particular thing. There's sort of memories associated when you're trying to start fresh. And so
Yeah.
I was looking to move already. I was looking at possibly Texas. There were a couple of options that I was weighing up. So when they offered for me to come out here, it was a very easy decision to make.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mhm.
So did you go to AmFest and all that? Did you do the AmFest thing?
I did, yeah. I didn't get to see too many speeches, to be honest, but it was very interesting to see the clear divergence between, like, establishment conservatism versus the America First people. It was very, very apparent both on and off stage. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's like so weird. I mean, because I actually know a lot of Groypers end up going to AmFest,
A lot.
and yeah,
So many.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's crazy. It's like it's so funny because I'll see I follow a lot of Groypers and they'll be posting videos from AmFest, and
Hmm.
they're just out there like causing a ruckus, getting into stuff, and then you watch the speeches and it's like you have Ben Shapiro up there like the Groypers are anti-Semites, so it's like such a weird like audience split for this event.
100%. You see, like Faith Merrill, like in debates with people, like people coming at her, like you support Nick Fuentes, and she's like standing her ground. It was super sick to see. There
Yeah,
was another clip that kind of went viral of like some guys, they were coming at one of the Groypers as well. They nearly got into a little fist fight. But then on stage as well, it was people just using that opportunity, instead of spreading a positive message or like uniting the base or educating people, they were using the time that they had to just take digs at one another,
yeah,
which is like kind of discouraging to see. It's kind of like leftist behavior, in my opinion. I don't like
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird. Speaking of, you brought up Faith Merrill. I have to bring this. I have beef with Faith Merrill.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
serious
tell me
beef.
all about it. You know what? So I had this girl, the what Empath Chan.
Oh,
She
that.
She asked if she could come on my show. And Isabella and Josiah informed me that like maybe she had beef with you or some of the Goy. So I asked her directly, I'm like, do you have beef with Beardson? Because like if you do, you're not coming on my show. And she said that it was like all for jokes and you guys are actually cool.
No, that woman's insane. Yeah. So I'll give you the story on that one. This one's even crazier.
Tell me them
Um,
both. I'm all ears. This is very interesting.
yeah, I don't, me and women don't necessarily get along. Yeah, this is maybe a trend.
Fair
Um,
enough.
but yeah, so I'll start with Empath Chan. So I back in last January when I started to like blow up, she like
Mhm.
DMs me and it's like, hey, and I'm like, I respond and I'm like, hey, I don't talk to e-girls normally. I just don't. It's not worth my time. I got
Fair
nothing.
enough.
But I responded back because I was like, I was getting so many DMs, and I'm like, well, maybe I can farm this for content or something, or maybe she's like a hater, you know? Because I was like, I mean, I was going viral, like Asmongold's, you know, hosted me, and like all these women are coming after me. So I'm like, I thought she was just like another one of these girls that was gonna come after me. And then she's like,
Mhm.
your race mixing tweet is based. You want to follow me back? And I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna respond to this. Like, this isn't a hater. There's no content here to be had, so I'm good. And then she like kept DMing me, like trying to get me to follow her back, and I just kept ignoring it or whatever. And then like I don't know, like a month or two later, she's like talking shit in my replies. Like, I guess she's like mad that I didn't follow her back or whatever. So, and I'm like, okay, so I leaked the DMs. I'm like, dude, you're a crazy bitch. Okay, just like get away from me. And then like I completely forgot about it. And so then like I don't know, what was it, like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, she's like
Mhm.
making AI generated nudes of me in fake DMs saying that like I was sending her dick pics or whatever, which it's like the guy doesn't even look like me first off. Uh
What?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I should have consulted because the first time we've ever DM'd was to arrange the show. You know, I don't just reach out to people, but I'll send you the DMs after this. I quite literally said, number one, are you on OnlyFans? And number two, do you have beef with Beardson? Because if either of those two things are true, I'll still have you on the show, but it's going to change the tone of the show. It'll be more adversarial. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because I don't support OnlyFans and
Yeah.
I like Beardson and I like the Groypers. So if you have beef with them, it's going to change the tone of the show, basically.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, we just do that. We do that for content. We do that for engagement. Like we get along. And also, I'm not on OnlyFans. I'm on this more like upscale version, and I've never done nudes, basically." So I was like, "Okay, I guess come on the show."
Yeah, I've seen her nudes. People have sent me her nudes.
Are you sure they're not AI generated like yours were?
No, because she's posted them. Like she's posted like
Oh,
oh, yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah, she did
enough.
OnlyFans.
Oh, so she
Yeah.
just straight up lied to me.
Yeah, she's just a grifter, dude. Like this whole thing with her is like she's just like leaning into the racist thing to try to get attention so she can she's just an insane person. I've had so many people like approach me about her, especially after she like made this like fake DM like nude thing or whatever.
Mhm.
Which by the way, which was hilarious because it just made me sound awesome. Like the fabricated DMs, I was just like, "Here's my dick, like show me your nudes, bitch," or whatever, you know. And she's like, "Stop it!" And I do like come across like awesome. Like I wish, honestly, I wish I would have done that. Honestly, I'm like, that sounds pretty cool, but
Right.
yeah.
Reverse effect. Anyway, that's crazy. So I should
Yeah.
have verified with you. But what happened with Faith? Why do you have beef with Faith? She seems like she's 19. She
Yeah.
seems all about the movement, sweet girl.
Yeah.
What's the beef there?
So, okay. She followed me. So I was like, oh, okay, she's the chick from doing the interviews. I'll follow her back, whatever. I'll be nice. I don't normally follow back women, but it's like you're cool, whatever. And she had posted something. I forget what it was. It doesn't matter. It's not important. And all I did was respond. I replied with, hey, the word hey. And she hid the reply.
What was the post? Do
It
you
does not
remember?
it's not important, it's I don't remember, to be honest with it's
But
what
hey is so innocuous. Like what? Like
right.
why would you hide a response that's like hey could be like hey what do you mean or it could be like hello. But
Yeah.
either way, why would you hide that?
Right. I was just being nice. It's like I don't know what the context was. I mean, like, again, I can't remember what the original post was or whatever. Not important. But I think no matter what it is, saying "hey," I mean, is that really that? Am I guilty of a crime
I've
here?
never hid any reply ever, even the completely fabricated ones that like this woman fucked Destiny. Like people make up the most random shit about me. And like for the most part, I just ignore them. But I've never like hid or deleted a response. That's like very suspicious behavior,
Oh no,
I think.
I had replies all the time. I don't care.
Really? What type of replies do you hide?
Oh, anything that's like I just don't like. Basically, like I absolutely yeah. It's like
So
here's
isn't that
my
a little hypocritical then to be upset at her when you in fact do that too?
no, because I wasn't being mean.
Right.
I said, hey, I just said, hey, hey, what's up? You know, trying to be nice, as like the
Mhm.
elder groiper, just trying to be nice to the younger groipers.
Well, maybe she thought you meant like, "Hey, hey, what's going on here?" Well, like, "Hey, like, hold up."
No, no, it was just like a normal, like, hey,
Like a hi,
yeah,
hey,
hey, what's up? How's it going? How are you?
weird.
I
That's
know,
that's actually very odd.
I know,
Hmm.
it was really weird. So yeah, I don't know what her deal is with me, but yeah, I guess we have beef. I guess there's beef here. I don't know.
I guess there's beef. Well, I don't have beef with you. I enjoy your content. I won't hide your replies. You could
Thank
even
you.
say something mean and I won't hide it.
No, I would never. I would never. I'm a nice guy.
You see, I get a nice guy vibe from you. I do.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, most women don't. Unfortunately, they're hiding my replies and they're fabricating AI nudes of me.
Seriously, yeah, this is insane. No wonder people are like, no e-girls, not even once. They do weird shit like that. It's
I
very
know.
unusual.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, you're an incel." It's like, this is why, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Right.
look at how women are behaving on the internet. Are you kidding me?
So are you an involuntary celibate or are you a voluntary celibate? Because people use the word incel for like both categories.
I think like volcel is like a total cope. I think everybody who calls themselves a volcel is an actual incel. You know what I mean? It's like you're just trying to. I could get laid if
I
I
could
wanted
go
to.
away,
Yeah, I
right?
just don't want to actually. Like I'm just like too much of a Chad. It's like I just claim incel. It is what it
Fair
is.
enough. I've actually
Although
never heard "vercel" before. I've never heard the like the terminology in that sense. So that's interesting. Thank you for
yeah,
updating my what's it called? Lexicon? No, that's not the word. Wait, your vernacular.
vocabulary.
My
Yeah,
vernacular.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I got you. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people like I'm a volcel. It's like, dude, okay, I can look at you. You're not a volcel. You're an incel. Okay, you're
Well,
coping.
Nick could probably get laid if he wanted to, but I mean, he's a Catholic, and there's also a difference between people who are doing it for like faith-based reasons, right?
Yeah,
I am no angel by any means. I have engaged in premarital things with long-term boyfriends that I've had and whatnot. This is the first relationship that I've ever been in now with my fiance, where we are waiting for marriage, which is led by him for spiritual reasons. He's a Christian. He's been a Christian his whole life, and although I was baptized as a Catholic. I am a Catholic. I'm not a very good one. But I've for sure been subscribed to the Christian faith for a long time, had real encounters with Jesus Christ. But I'm very grateful for him leading me in that sense. And I think it's kind of wrong when people call guys who are, for religious reasons, abstaining, and they also label them as an incel. I feel like that falls into kind of like a different category.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really view incel as like an insult, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of the whole thing. It's like we're sort of like taking it back. Like, it's one of those things where it started off as an insult, sure, but it's like it's like sort of like the N word. We're taking it back. It's our word now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you don't.
Fair
I'm proud of being an incel. Like I
enough.
mean, again, it's like you look at the state of like modern women today. You know, and it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you be an incel? Like I'd much rather focus on my hobbies, my passions and pursuits than getting sort of like tied down with some like overweight single mom of three with an OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like
Fair enough. Yeah, I concur with that statement. I mean, you were playing guitar when I first joined before we went. I'm sure you wouldn't be as talented as what you were when I first joined this. You were ripping on that thing. If you were distracted by some pussy, I'm sure you would not be as adept at guitar as what you are now.
that's true.
So I'm all about it.
Do you see all these PS2 games I have back here? Imagine if I had a wife. Like this would just I would not have these. You know, she'd be like, I need to go to Sephora. I need a coffee. It's like, yeah, okay, bitch.
Right.
I need PS2 games. Fuck you. I don't care. You know,
You're still on the PS2 wave. The only game that I've ever played is Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex on PS2.
it's a
It's the
banger.
only PlayStation game, actually, and Spyro. Those are the only two games that I've ever played in my whole life.
Yeah,
And I enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun.
Wrath of Cortex is a banger. That's a classic. That's a deep
Yeah,
cut.
I
So
beat it. I beat the game.
yeah, hell yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's back to like the faith thing though. It's good that like I'm glad that you sort of qualified it that your fiance is sort of like leading you because that seems to be sort of even when like in the tradcath sort of like community of
Mhm.
these like super online trads, it's like they really sort of shirk away from the idea of a man leading a woman in a relationship for somebody like even like my old priest. I switched churches, but my old priest, there's like a certain reading um in the Bible that they would do, and there's like an optional way to read it so it doesn't offend the women. And he chose that. And I'm like, well, I mean, hang
What?
on. Yeah, you can sort of omit the line where it talks about like a woman should be subservient to her husband. And
Dude, that's it's the only way that marriage can work. Like this
yeah,
is like I'm understanding this. That's the only way that it can ever actually work because it also plays into psychology dynamics as well. You know, if a man you take away the faith aspect, if a man isn't leading the woman, then she's gonna walk all over him. At the end of
yeah,
the day, she's gonna emasculate him, and psychologically, the relationship isn't gonna work. Even taking the faith part is the most important aspect, but even taking that out of the equation when it comes to human nature, human psychology, it just doesn't work if it's not aligned in that way.
yeah. It's really weird, and it's so like you see like oh, what's that girl's name? Lila Grace Rose. You know, she's like constantly like this like
Right.
huge feminist.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. She's very much so she classifies herself as a conservative, I guess, because she's very like outspoken against abortion and things like this. But in a lot of other senses, I guess she does resemble traits that are akin to feminism, for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that like there's so many like these big Catholic influencers that again like shirk away from this sort of traditional role. I think a lot of them they sort of view it as like I guess our worldview is that like the woman should be the slave to the husband, which is like I don't ascribe to that. I'm actually like not that traditional really. Like I actually am completely okay with my if I ever do get married, probably won't, but if I do, like my future wife having a job, like I'm fine with that because I don't want your ass home all day every day. Like
Annoying you.
I need some me time, dude. I need to play my PS2 games, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, please go off, have hobbies, go to work. Like, I'm cool with that, you know?
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
not, you know, I mean, of course, if we have kids or whatever, it's like, yeah, it's
right.
different. But,
I mean,
um,
that's the part of the reason why I had to leave Valuetainment was because in addition to my show, and it's my fault I didn't negotiate very well, but like I worked a day job 9 to 6. And then I pitched my show and my responsibilities for my day job like didn't alleviate on account of that because I didn't women aren't very good at setting up for themselves and like negotiating these things, right?
yeah.
And that's what I should have done. I should have said, in lieu of doing all of these things, I want to do this show. But instead, they're like, yeah, do everything else that you're doing plus your show. So I would work 9 to 6 and then I would go home and I would work like I'd take an hour, hang out with Danny, my fiance, a little bit. We'd like eat some food, we'd chill out a little bit. Like I do some cooking, some cleaning, whatever. And then we would work like like 7 till like midnight or later, or like 8 till midnight and later working on my show and coming up with ideas. Okay, what are we going to do this week? What stories? Blah, blah, blah. It's just not sustainable um for a family lifestyle. You know, we want to get married and have kids this year. But by that same token, he's like, I want you to have your hobbies and do things that you're passionate about. And at the end of the day, like the income that I bring in from it, it's like I don't need to make it, but it's just extra stuff. It's extra stuff that we can invest into traveling, into the business, whatever. He's the provider. And as long as I'm still doing everything I need to do, like taking care of the household, taking care of a family, doing all of these things, and I can have my extra like little fun. Like I see this as like a hobby at this point. Maybe it'll make good income one day. That would be nice. But if I do that, it's our income, it's the family's income at the end of
Yeah.
the day, and it just contributes to extra fun stuff that we get to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are a woman, so you do kind of have a leg up in this sphere. So I imagine, once you hit the ground running, you'll be doing all right. But um,
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of fun doing what I do, and I'm very passionate about these topics. Like I said, I've genuinely been following Nick and his message for a long time, going back to 2022 now, and I agree with it. And I think that there genuinely is more opportunity for real political change over the period of the next 4 years than like what we've seen in the last 50. So it's
yeah,
nice to think that I could possibly contribute to that by espousing some of these ideas, maybe espousing them in a way that's maybe more palatable to the average person or to women. I'm sure I still put off a lot of people with my rhetoric, but for some people, they hear it, they're like, oh, that actually makes sense. That's kind of cool, So that's good feedback to hear, and it feels nice that I can contribute to something that I like genuinely believe in, and I feel like society, the world, would be better off if this was the accepted ideology for everyone. This hat, I wear it for a reason. I'm America. I would denounce my Australian citizenship today, quite literally. Like I haven't been back to Australia, since I've
wow,
been living here the last 10 years. Like this is where I want to raise a family. This is where I want to be. And in my opinion, it's genuinely the last free country in the West, and the freedom of the rest of the West rises and falls on what happens over the period of probably the next 4 years. So being able to contribute to that, that's kind of nice.
yeah. Well, you'd probably get arrested if you went back to Australia. To be honest, it's like the way
For
things are
real.
going. Like,
Seriously. I've joked about it, but it's probably true. I mean, in the UK, which, Australia is kind of like the little brother of the UK, there's been like 1,200 arrests now for social media posts and people espousing different political opinions. And that's starting to happen in Australia now. They're implementing digital ID. They're doing a lot of things that kind of underpin the foundation of like a social credit system, like
yeah,
China's kind of set up, right? And I think that I very much, I've espoused sort of things that are very out of line with what they would deem to be acceptable. So I'm actually a little bit nervous for if and when I ever do try to go back,
yeah. I
just to
remember.
visit,
Yeah. I remember, what was it, during COVID, they were doing like the little internment camps for people. Like they had like the little villages where people could go and like live if they had COVID. There was like these little cabins or whatever set up. It was crazy.
Like again, that's what red pilled me to politics. They were literally like crash tackling people in the street for not wearing masks, and like
Yeah.
taking kids out of school if they had a sniffle, putting people in these COVID camps. It was crazy. It was crazy. And Australia was disarmed in the 90s. We don't really have like a First Amendment. We certainly don't have a Second Amendment. People don't have freedom there, and
Yeah.
that's not the place that I want to be. That's not the place that I want to raise a family. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. It's so bad, and I guess now too, like they're passing some law, they get in some sort of like anti-Semitism law now too, because there's some like, which I'm to be honest, I'm not too torn up about this, but there was some big like National Socialist group that's like, well, we have to break up before all of our members essentially break the law. I mean, they arrested
Mhm.
Joel Davis, which again, like I'm not terribly torn up about. I don't really like Joel Davis that much, to be fair, but it is kind of fucked up that he's getting put in like solitary confinement for simply espousing his political views.
True. I mean, that's why I came out with that video. I literally, after the Bondi shooting happened, I basically, me and Danny, my fiance, we didn't sleep for like 48 hours doing the research, deep diving into everything, and then putting out the video. I genuinely believe that that was a false flag to initiate, number one, to enforce the digital ID, which goes hand in hand with the anti Semitism laws, because that's the true way to be able to track it and really hold people to account for their anti Semitism, right? So it was like a twofold like solution that they were going to propose on account of the problem of anti-Semitism. But there was just way too many inconsistencies with that thing. BB came out straight away and was like, "Oh yeah, this is Iran. This is definitely Iran that's doing this, right?"
Yeah.
And all the way back since before, Trump bombed their nuclear facilities, I was like, there's going to be some type of a false flag that forces further escalation in that region, that forces America to become involved. And it's crazy that it ended up happening in Australia. There was a guy there, I forget his name off the top of my head, but like top 50 Zionist strategist in the entire world who survived October 7th, who also happened to be there, who survived that, who got like who's a bullet grazed his head apparently, and he had time to lay on the floor and take a selfie and be like, anti-Semitism strikes again, please help. Like, fuck off. Sorry for my language, but like, it's so ridiculous. It's patently ridiculous that people would fall for this bullshit. It's insane. It's actually insane. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, you're fine. Where do you I guess speaking of like sort of conspiracy theories, because there's been this conspiracy theory thing, especially like false flags and all this, has been kind of a hot button topic in the right for the past few months now. And like I've always considered myself somewhat of like a conspiratorial person, like I've looked into, obviously like 9/11, and then you get into like some of these like false flag shootings, whether they were or they weren't in Newtown and Sandy Hook and all that stuff. And I always find it fascinating. I mean, and sometimes I don't really know where I land, but um I think we've sort of reached like a fever pitch with the conspiracy theories now with this Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson stuff. Like where do you land on all that?
So I was fully team Candace for a while. I was, but it was mostly on account, I'll say it's like twofold. One, the fact that we were not getting any clear narrative from the FBI, and there was a lot of stuff that was really obviously inconsistent with what the truth appeared to be. The shadiness and the reactions of Turning Point, and also the fact that like I'm a woman and I want to believe in all the beautiful whimsical things of like friendship, and like she just wanted to avenge her friend, and she's willing to leave no stone unturned and willing to embarrass herself talking about dreams and talking about this and that. So I was like, I would rather, if I was assassinated, I would rather somebody investigate my assassination in the way that Candace Owens is doing it versus the way that like the FBI or Turning Point are approaching the matter. So I was fully team Candace. I remember the exact moment that I disavowed her. It was the episode where she started talking about the maroon shirt people. Um, and just before that, I'd actually done it's kind of like an evergreen video. So I don't know when I'm gonna release it, but it still hasn't been fully edited. But on women's fascination with true crime. True crime is one of the biggest, like top categories for podcasting, and like 80% of the audience are women
Yeah.
because we love the drama. And initially, when the genre of true crime was created, it was with the intention of actually helping to solve mysteries. But then they realize that the money, it comes in from leaving people on that cliffhanger, on that hook, and keeping the drama going, right? And so as I'm watching Candace, I'm starting, and I just did this video like about a month before, and then she brought up the maroon shirt people, and these parallels started drawing in my head where I was like, does she even believe her in bullshit right now? Like, I think at one point she did. I think at one point she was genuinely like, I'm onto something here with these Egyptian planes and this and that, and then being disproved over and over and over again, but still kind of dragging it out. It's like she almost felt this obligation to her audience to keep giving them what they were craving. It's like a drug, they were fiending for it. And she makes so much money off giving the people what they want. Why wouldn't she continue it? So at first, hook, line, and sinker, I was bought into it. I'm like, she's the only one avenging her friend. Like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But then I definitely had my wake up moment And just after that maroon shirt episode, I was on record being like, I disavow this until I see some type of tangible proof that she actually is onto something. I'm unsubscribing from this. I'm tuned out.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your opinion with it all?
Uh, well, yeah, I mean, you're totally right about like the true crime aspect of it, and I was never really. I mean, I was pretty much like straight away like I'm always open again to possibilities. I'm always open to the idea of like. Oh, maybe Israel. Like, yeah, dude, I blame Israel for everything. I stubbed my toe and on my coffee table, and I'm like, this is
It's the
probably is.
Jews.
Yeah, that's me, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like I am always down to blame Israel for something, but I don't know. It just seemed like I just I'm always a big it's always about motive, right? Like that's the thing you always have to kind of look at, and it just never really made sense to me. Like Charlie Kirk, even before all this happened, it's like he was talking about how he would like observe Sabbath, like the Jews did, and like he'd come home and be like,
Stop.
Shabbat
You wrote
Shalom,
the book
wife.
on it. Stop in the name of like it's all about observing the Sabbath, you know?
Yeah,
So completely.
yeah, and it's like I just don't know. This guy says like one bad thing about like Israel, and they're like, we have to kill him now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just never really tracked in my head. Whereas like you look at Tyler Robinson, and it's like he's dating a trans person. Charlie Kirk's very adamantly always has been against this trans narrative. Like, and like I think what I hate about it is like this sort of defense of the left. I think that's where a lot of this comes from. It's like after October 7th, there's been a large influx of like people who are like maybe more left leaning or libertarian. And not to say that there's anything inherently wrong with that, but it's like at a certain point, it's time to become right wing. You know what I mean? It's time to like finally realize that you've been wrong about everything and that we've been right this whole time. But instead, there's this sort of like defense of the left. Oh, the left would never kill people. The left would never like commit violence. It's like, where have you been? And that's what I feel like is kind of going on with this Candace thing, is that there's this sort of implicit defense of the left as a means to, and some sort of like, I don't know, message of like unity, that we need to come together and fight against Israel. It's like, no, you need to submit to us because we were right about Israel all
Right.
this time, and you finally came around. So I think Tyler Robinson did it. I am open to the possibility. Maybe there was like an accomplice or something. But
Yeah.
this whole narrative though, they keep saying, oh, there was text that Charlie sent that said that Israel was going to kill him. It's like, really? Well, where are they? Well, they're coming out, brother. They're coming. I promise. It's like, well, until I see them and they're verified, like I think you're full of
Mm.
shit. I'm sorry.
That's another one of the true crime things. It's leaving people on a cliffhanger. And this is something that Nick has brought up time and time again. Like if you have it, you have like a moral obligation to release it. Like release everything that you have. Don't leave people on this cliffhanger just for the sake of garnering more views and more attention and more eyeballs. Like that's low key really messed up. High key messed up, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah. And because the thing is, at the end of the day, is like, would it be really convenient for us that if Israel did kill Charlie Kirk? Yeah, probably. That
Yeah.
help us out a lot. But I'm not really interested in like lying. I'm not interested in like bending the truth so that we can win. It's like I'm here because I believe the things that I believe because they're the truth. Like I'm here to
Yeah.
pursue the truth. I'm not here to try to like fabricate things or to try to like bend things to to fit some sort of narrative
Right.
because it helped me out. It's like at the end of the
Exactly.
day, like all these people do are just like damage their credibility, and it's like in the long run you're just gonna, I mean now Candace is talking about how like she's an alien and Charlie Kirk's like a time traveler. Have you?
What? I
Yeah.
missed this. Like I said, I've been tuned out since the maroon shirt people. So I have missed this entirely. It sounds like it's gone to a whole new level of escalation. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
dude, yeah, this happened. It was like yesterday or the day before. She's coming out and saying that Charlie Kirk was like a time traveler, like some sort of he had Sumerian technology and was able. I'm not making this up. This is all real. Like she said this verbatim and meant it. Like this wasn't even like a bit.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
actually crazy, dude. Yeah, listen, I'll admit when I screw up. I'll admit when I was wrong. I subscribe to it, and I know why I did. Again, because I'm a woman. You want to believe in the sweet, warm, fuzzy things of like friendship and avenging your friend and all
Yeah.
of this. But as soon as I got that like gut instinct of like, does she even believe her own bullshit? Like I was checked out. So yeah, I completely agree with you. Even when it came to like the Bondi false flag, it's like I have my opinions about Israel occupying this government, obviously, but you don't want to come out with this low IQ anti Semitism BS, right? As Nick refers to it. And so, even with my video, even after all of the evidence that pointed to the fact that it was a false flag committed by Israel, I still played devil's advocate on every single one of the points. Like, I think there was like 8 different points that I went over of why I thought it was a false flag. I also provided equal amount of time explaining why it could be a coincidence or playing devil's advocate of like why this could also just have happened, even as unlikely as it may seem, right?
Yeah.
And I don't see her doing that at all. I don't see her playing devil's advocate at all. All I see is her pushing this narrative that is ultimately going to garner more views and subsequently, more money.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. And you're like totally right on the true crime thing, dude. Women love fucking true crime podcasts. I used to be married, and when I was married, I remember one night I like lay down in bed, and my ex wife was like, "Hey, do you mind if I put on a podcast to help me go to sleep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care, whatever. It's not gonna bother me." And she puts on this like true crime podcast, dude, and it's like I'm sitting there like trying to fall asleep, and it's like, and then they slit the necks of these two young boys and ditched their bodies over the bridge. I'm like, how do you fucking fall asleep to this?
This is how I started the thing. I'm like, women are living double lives. By day, they're folding laundry, they're homemakers, they're cooking, and by night, they're chopping up bodies in the backyard. They're figuring out how to get away with murder. Like that's literally how I started it. And what's crazy is like your subconscious mind is most malleable and influenceable like right between that state of like being awake and falling asleep, and that's what they're choosing to fill their mind with. Like
Yeah.
I'll put up prayer meditation or like rain sounds or something. Like these bitches are listening to people chopping up bodies in the backyard and how to get away with murder. Like this is insane. No wonder women are crazy nowadays.
Yeah,
It's
it's insane. Yeah, she was
yeah.
like, I'm just so depressed all the time. It's like, gee, I wonder why,
I
dude.
wonder why.
Yeah,
Like
you're listening to like fucking pedophile child killers every fucking night, dude. It's like, what? I don't know. I think there's a real simple fix to this, actually. Like, I don't
right.
know. How about listening to fucking like My Little Pony or something, dude? You know, like something cheery or happy or
Yeah.
something.
People's information diet is terrible. I mean, even for me, like obviously politics is mostly negative. I tune into Nick's show most night. There are certain podcasts I tune into. I stay up to date with culture and current events, but I try to very intentionally juxtapose that with like, Bible and like prayer meditations and like listening to like Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale and like positive things that like kind of counterbalance all of that negativity so I can maintain like some semblance of like sanity in this insane world. Plus, I listen to a lot of comedy. Actually, my favorite genre of thing to like watch or listen to is actually comedy. My favorite show, as much as I love Nick, my favorite show is actually Kill Tony. For my birthday, not last year, but the year before, I went and saw them live at Madison Square Garden. And I just love comedy. I think you need to laugh with how depressing everything is in this world. If you don't intentionally cultivate like positivity and laughter and you can't make light of all these things, it's like that saying, if you don't laugh, then you'll cry. And I'd much rather laugh than cry. You
Yeah,
know, I'm a
yeah,
woman, so I do still cry sometimes, but I
yeah.
try I try to laugh as much as I can as well.
Yeah, I can't really relate to the crying, but like it is true. Like the information diet thing is so real, and that's I guess that's part of the reason why like I do what I do. It's like I try not to take things I guess too seriously. I just try to be a bit of a goofball because it's like there was a study. I think it was like I don't know maybe like 5 or 6, 7 years ago. Facebook did, and they basically enrolled their user base against their will. Like they didn't inform them that they're going to be part of this study, but they started to do this thing. So they had two control groups, and one of them they fed just more positive posts. Like they filtered the algorithm so they'd get more positive posts, and one got more negative posts. And what they observed is the more positive posts people saw, the more positive things that they posted, and the more negative things that they posted, the more negative, or they saw the more negative things that they posted. It's like people, like everybody seems to think that they're above like propaganda. But that's the minute that you think that you're above propaganda is how you get like psyoped, right? It's like,
Oh, 100%. You have to be so intentional, like, especially if you're going to be in this space. I believe you really need to carve out time to intentionally cultivate like good things in your life, which is why it's so important to be like close to God and have a relationship with Jesus Christ as well. Be in your Bible because that's the ultimate source of positivity, really. If you can really memorize and like internalize scriptures and things like this, it'll really help counterbalance a lot of that negativity. and maybe you can shed some light, and maybe like in all the darkness give a little bit of a white pill or a god pill in all of it, or just make light of it and laugh about it, like you said.
Yeah.
Both
I mean,
are effective measures.
yeah, I mean, you just have to, and I think a big problem too with a lot of people is they stay too tapped in all the time in the news. It's like, dude, Twitter. It's like if you're on there all day, you are going to be fucking depressed because it's all it is. It's like, yeah, Israel controls us. Everything sucks. We're never gonna win. People are getting doxxed and fired and shot and killed. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I gotta log off for a minute. You know what I mean? Like even me, like I'm a pretty like anti-fragile guy. Like I get attacked
Right.
constantly. I'm famous. I'm famously the most hated man on the internet. I think aside from Nick. You know what I mean? So it's
Really?
like, oh yeah. I mean, that's how I got
Oh
famous was
man.
people hating on me. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not aware of your like origin story at all. Like I think I've maybe followed you for probably, I honestly didn't even really use Twitter actively. Like you can scroll through my posts. I really only started posting, I wouldn't even say I post like once a week. Maybe within like the last 6 months. So maybe that's about how long I've been following you, I would say. So I'm
Yeah.
not aware of your origin story, so to speak.
It's long and it's
Another time,
boring.
you can tell me in
Yeah.
private, maybe. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
your audience is familiar with it. So not to make them go through all of that again. But I'm
Yeah.
fascinated. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to like like Spider-Man movie them. You know how it is where they make a new Spider-Man movie and it's like, all right, here's an hour of him getting bit by the spider again. This is
Right.
how
Yeah.
it's like I got it. I know who
Oh my
Spider-Man
gosh.
is.
That was so annoying about all of the Nick interviews. As soon as Nick started going mainstream, it's like, "So, where did you get your view?" It's like, dude,
Yeah,
can you not make like a 3-minute intro that kind of does like a summation of everything? Which is my intention, by the way. So when I met him in person, I spoke to him on the phone. We did the source cast panel, and then I saw him again after we did the PBD interview. And I asked him if he would allow me to interview him. He said yes. And one of the cool things about Amfest was there were a bunch of groypers there, and a lot of them approached me. There was this one particular cigar party where I was telling them, like, I want to do an interview with Nick that's like by the groypers for the groypers, that actually really gets into the crux of a lot of the questions that people would really want to know, that you guys feel like would be valuable as people who have really helped grow and shape the movement. And it was really funny. Like at one point, I was like standing in a circle with my phone on voice memo, like going around, like getting everybody like the gripe is like actual questions that they would want to know the answers to. This is why I think I messaged you and asked you if you had Trello. I made a
yeah, yeah.
Trello board with a lot of those questions, because I sent a super chat the other day because we're both going to be in Florida next week, and asking him like, can we do the interview? And he said yes on the super chat. I still haven't heard back privately, by the way, but he said yes on the super chat, and so I went ham, going through the voice memo and preparing all of these questions. So I'd love to add you onto the board and get your input on it all as well, because I know people are so sick to death of these freaking get to know, like, we know who he is at this point. Okay, let's get into the crux of some of these deeper conversations, please.
Yeah, I usually when Nick does like a big collab, I just usually just take the little timer and I just skim like 45 minutes into it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I know all this stuff, dude. I've been there, done that. All right, we got canceled by Cassie Dillon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Daily Wire. All right. But
Oh,
yeah. I mean, wait. So that's why I figured you out now. Now this is why you agreed to come on the show. You're using me to get to Nick. That's what it is.
I had already told you before that, before I super chatted him, I told you that I would come on your show. I want to get
Mm,
more like active with content, and genuinely, like, the groypers that I've met and talked to are like, I mean, there's bad apples in every bunch, right? But a lot of them, like, these are some of the most intelligent politically, like their political acumen. They're so on point. They're so base. They're some of the most intelligent people that I think I've ever like interacted with ever, that have given me genuine insight. So, like, no, that's not why I'm on the show. I already told you that I wanted to come on the show and I wanted to talk to you. I was already following your account. But hey, if it helps, if anyone in here wants to encourage Nick to reply to me, then go on ahead and do that too. But I promise that's not why I'm here. Genuinely, I did want to talk, and I'm down to come on like anytime. Hopefully, I'm a cut above empath Chan so far as this conversation has gone, and Faith, and not to talk shit on Faith, I actually like Faith, but a lot of the women in the movement, the e-girls, so to
yeah.
speak.
Well, credit where credit's due to Faith when that she got pressed in that confrontation at Infest. I actually thought she did pretty good.
You
So
did so good.
yeah, I'll give
Mhm.
credit where credit, even though she's a bitch and she's dead to me forever. Like I'll give credit where credit's due.
Very
Um,
nice.
if you start doing the Groiper tour, though, I do have to give you a warning. Stay away from Michael Lionheart. Do not do his show. The guy
Michael
is,
Lionheart. I don't think
yeah,
I've even heard of this person. Let me
yeah,
see if I know them on X. Michael Lionheart?
yeah.
I don't even
AF.
think I follow this individual.
You shouldn't. Just stay away from him. He's like this guy that like pretends to be a groiper, and he's like basically every time I bring somebody onto my show, then he reaches out to them and he gets them on their show. Like he's like riding in my wake. So he's probably gonna hit you up soon, and I'm just
I'll
saying, just
ignore him. I
yeah,
got you. I'll
yeah,
completely ignore him. I
yeah,
appreciate the advice. Thank you.
yeah. You're
Anyone else
welcome.
that I should be wary of and stay away from?
No, just him. Really, I think he's just probably the only one that you should probably avoid.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
you feel free to reach out to me if you ever have any questions. But I have like because I used to be like the drama guy. I'm not so much anymore. I became Catholic, and so now I'm like I'm trying to stay away from all that. But I still have this like living Rolodex in my head of like every single person and every single actor. And I know like I'm not gonna like air out any dirty laundry, but I could probably give you the dirty laundry on almost anybody.
Wow.
So
Okay, you're that guy. All
I
right.
am. Yeah, I don't know how.
Remind me to never cross you. That's it.
Nah, you'll be fine. No, it's good. No worries.
This has
All right.
generally been like a fun conversation though. Like you're cool to talk to.
Thank you. I appreciate
Genuinely.
it. Yeah, same to you. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I really appreciate you coming on, even if you were late, even if you did burn your house down.
Sorry. And the whole fire alarm thing, someone's gonna clip that and it's probably gonna be really funny though,
Yeah.
honestly. So we'll
No.
we'll see what Twitter makes of it. I think they're probably gonna have some fun with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a definitely a very memorable moment for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think this is probably a good place to put a pin in it, and I'll let you go. I know you're tired, and especially you
My
know,
fiance is messaging me actually. He wants to jump on a call, but I really appreciate you having me on.
yeah,
And
yeah.
let's definitely do it again sometime soon for sure. And get Trello, please, if you don't have it. I would love to get your opinion on some of these questions that I've been cooking up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reach out to me anytime.
Cool.
So, all
Sounds
right,
good. Thank you so
cool.
much, Beardson.
Thanks. Have a good one. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye.